On this vote, the yeas are 258, the nays are 169, present 1. The motion is adopted.
A bipartisan majority of Congress has passed H.R. 8404, the Respect for Marriage Act. Originally introduced in 2009, this bill repeals the 1996 Defense of Marriage Act, which limits the definition of marriage to a legal union between one man and one woman as husband and wife. But how have the political winds shifted in the time between these two bills? How has protecting same-sex marriage become a priority for elected officials on both sides of the aisle?
The winds have changed a lot. Just a little bit over 10 years ago, Joe Biden said something around the lines of, marriage should be decided by whether you love a person or not.
What this is all about is a simple proposition. Who do you love? Who do you love? And will you be loyal to the person you love?
And people consider that to be a gaffe. And again, that was only a little bit over 10 years ago. So changes in public support for equal marriage have really shifted in very modern times.
In 2013, the Supreme Court overruled DOMA with a 5-4 ruling in the case United States v. Windsor. The court struck down Section 3 of DOMA because it denied same-sex couples the equal protection guaranteed by the Fifth Amendment. 2 years later, in the case of Obergefell v. Hodges, the court ruled that same-sex couples are guaranteed the right to marriage. In 2022, the Supreme Court, now with a conservative majority, overturned Roe v. Wade, reversing what many considered a precedent of the court. The reversal itself and Justice Clarence Thomas's concurring opinion in the ruling led some to believe the court may revisit decisions on contraception and same-sex marriages.
What really happened, what really changed things and made this kind of pressure among Congress was this year with the decision by the Supreme Court to end Roe v. Wade. So Thomas was the only justice who specifically in his opinion said that other rights that are based on this idea of the constitutional right to privacy could be at risk, and he specifically named same-sex marriage, interracial marriage, and that immediately sparked alarm amongst a lot of activists, amongst a lot of Americans who said, wait, we did not think that would also be on the line. But you can see the hesitation among especially some more moderate Republican senators who say, well, maybe I would rather have a law passed than fully continue counting on the court to defend its rights.
While the top court grew more conservative, national sentiment was shifting elsewhere. Leading up to the court's decisions, Americans said by a roughly 2-to-1 margin that the court should uphold Roe v. Wade. Voters showed their support of abortion rights in the 2022 midterms, what was seen by some as a rebuke of the court and efforts to restrict the right to an abortion.
You come to this idea that Dobbs really hurt Republicans this midterm season. Like, there was this red wave that we talked about that we expected, and it didn't happen. And a lot of it was because young women, a lot of people were upset that this right got taken away from them in such a, extreme way. And so I think that Republicans are kind of, seeing that these things really rally the public.
Since 1996, support for same-sex marriage in the United States rose from 27% to 71%. While same-sex marriage is not currently on a ballot, it is something that most voters support. If the 2022 election was any indicator, voters will respond at the ballot box.